There's no soil, no garden, no farm, and yet, food is growing. Right here, inside a simple glass jar. No sunlight farms, no expensive setup, no experience, just water, and something most people ignore. What if I told you, you could grow food in the same place you store your cups? And once you see this, you'll never look at an empty jar the same way again. This, a basic glass jar. Fill it with water. Add a small plant cutting. Place it near light. And within days, roots begin to form. Leaves grow. And just like that, you're producing food. No soil. Almost zero cost. Right inside your home. This isn't new. This is actually one of the oldest growing techniques in human history. Ancient civilizations observed plants growing near rivers, with their roots constantly in water. In places like ancient Babylon, some of the earliest forms of water-based growing systems were used. Even the famous hanging gardens, believed by many historians, relied on controlled water systems. Fast forward to today. Scientists call this method hydroponics, and it's used in space research labs, urban farming systems, high-efficiency greenhouses, because it works better than soil in many cases. So why don't most people do this at home? Because it's too simple. It doesn't require buying bags of soil, no fertilizers every week, no expensive gardening tools. And if people realized they could grow food in jars inside their homes year-round with almost no cost, a lot of industries would lose control. This knowledge wasn't destroyed. It was just quietly ignored. You've already seen this before, maybe without realizing it. Ever placed a plant stem in water just to keep it fresh? And then, days later, you notice tiny white roots forming? Or maybe you've seen money plants growing endlessly in bottles without soil. That's not decoration. That's a working food system, hidden in plain sight. Here's what's really happening. Plants don't actually need soil. Let that sink in. Soil is just a medium. Its job is to hold water and nutrients. But if you give plants water directly and the nutrients they need, they skip the middleman. Inside the stem, there are tiny channels. They pull water upward. This is called capillary action. As long as the roots stay oxygenated and receive light, the plant keeps growing. Simple. No dirt required. Let's break this down. You could try it today. No special tools. Step 1. Take a clean glass jar. Any jar works, even an old pickle jar. Step 2. Fill it with clean water. Room temperature. Not too cold, not too hot. Step 3. Take a plant cutting. Best options: mint, basil, green onions, money plant. Cut just below a node. That's where roots grow. Step 4. Place the cutting into the jar. Make sure the node is underwater. Leaves should stay above. Step 5. Place the jar near sunlight. Window, balcony, anywhere bright. Not direct harsh heat, just light. Step 6. Change the water every 2 to 3 days. That's it. No soil. No fertilizer needed at the start. Within a few days, you'll see roots forming. Within weeks, you'll have growing plants. Here's what most people get wrong and why they fail. The first mistake is dirty water. When water sits for too long, it loses oxygen, and when that happens, the roots can't breathe. They slowly suffocate. The solution is simple. Change the water regularly. Every 2 to 3 days is enough to keep the plant healthy. The second mistake is lack of light. No light means no energy, and without energy, the plant simply cannot grow. The fix is easy. Place the jar near natural light. A window, a balcony, or anywhere bright will work. The third mistake is submerging the leaves. When leaves stay underwater, they begin to rot, and once that starts, the entire plant can weaken. The rule is simple. Only the roots should be in water, and the leaves must stay above. The fourth mistake is expecting instant results. This is where most people give up. Growth takes time, but once it begins, it accelerates. It starts slow, then grows faster than you expect. Now imagine this. 1 jar becomes 2, and 2 become 10. Suddenly, your window is filled with jars, each one growing something useful. Mint for tea, basil for cooking, and green onions that regrow every time you cut them. Now take it further. Add shelves, stack them vertically, and turn a small space into a living food system. There's no soil mess, no digging, and no land required. Just water and consistency. At that point, you're not just growing plants, you're building a system. Is it safe to eat? Yes, as long as you follow a few basic rules. Keep the water clean, keep the container clean, and make sure the plant is healthy. If you want stronger growth, you can add simple nutrients later or transfer the plant into soil. But even without that, many plants grow perfectly well in water alone. This method isn't new. It's old knowledge, simply presented in a different way. Ancient farmers understood this. They worked with water cycles and followed nature instead of fighting it. Nothing was wasted, and everything had a purpose. Food wasn't thrown away, it was reused and regrown. Modern systems made things more complicated, but the original idea was always simple. Grow with water, not dependency. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that growing food is difficult, that it requires land, tools, money, and complex systems. But nature never agreed with that. It has always shown simple ways, quiet ways, and methods that don't depend on anything except understanding. Maybe that's the real truth. This isn't hidden knowledge, it's simply ignored knowledge. So the next time you see an empty glass jar, don't think of storage, think of possibility. Because inside something that's simple, you can grow food, independence, and maybe even a different way of living. And if this changed how you see things, then you're already starting to understand what most people never notice.